Hey guys, it's Peter here, and welcome to the Brothers Break YouTube channel. And in this video, we have some special behind-the-scenes footage by Eli Willsea, also known as ForlornEmpire on Flickr. He's going to be giving us a behind-the-scenes look at his latest mock entitled The Advanced Simulation. The links to his photostream and his YouTube channel will be down in the description. I highly recommend you go check it out. He has some great stuff over there. Special thanks to him for making this footage for us. So please welcome Eli Willsea.
Hi, my name's Eli Willsea, also known as ForlornEmpire. Today I'm going to be showing you the behind the scenes of one of my latest creations titled Advanced Simulation. Now this build took me about 3 days to complete, from concept of the idea to finishing touches of the build. This is what the base level of the mock looks like. It's just a grid pattern on the floor with the upset platform for the simulation rig and the wires going out. And then I started adding elements to it. First of all, the one that took me the longest was the simulation rig, and it hooks right in the center on a jumper plate. And then you add other features such as the power cases, the pillars. I think one goes there. And then you wanted to add the supercomputer in the lab and the chair. And then add some minifigs for life. And all of a sudden the scene comes alive. And then when you add the wall in the back, the entire thing pops. It really comes to life like that. But you can see it's all separate pieces, but it's not made as a presentation mock for like a convention or a show or seeing in person necessarily. It was made for the angle of the camera. So what you saw from the camera angle, which was over this direction facing in, it's built all around that. So all the details really pop into the view of the camera. One of the most important minifigs on this build was the minifig who's suspended in the simulation rig. As you can see, he's kind of just torn apart to make it look like he's flexible. His legs aren't even attached with a middle lower torso piece. They're actually connected on the back, and his arms are just holding on. They're not actually connected to his torso. There's a bracket on the back and front of him, so he's connected, his torso is connected on the back side. Also, he's wearing a Nexo Knights suits with the orange accents on it, and the reason I put the bracket on the front is to cover the Nexo Knight logo. That headpiece is actually a piece I got from the old Master Builder Academy kits. Flip that visor down. You can see he's fully immersed in the simulation. When I first began the build, I was toying around with the silver cups, since this build was initially for the ABS Builder Challenge, and the seed part was that silver cup. I started with one, and then I built two later. And basically, I didn't know exactly what the entire build was going to be. I just had these, and then I formulated the rest of the build around them. So sometimes a build will start with just the small details, such as these glass cabinets. The stairs were one of my favorite parts to build. You can see I used a lot of minifig hands, and they're connected to bars, and I think they worked out really well. This detailing all along the front here, the greebling is what they call it, is one of my favorite things to do because it just looks really fun. Now you got to be careful with your greebles because you don't want it to look too dorky. You can't just put any gray piece down there, although in a sense you can. You just have to kind of do some repeating patterns, and you want to use more sophisticated small pieces. I found in Lego building that when you use a lot of small pieces, it adds more detail and it's a lot more fun. Unless you're doing big flat pieces like this floor where I used huge tiles, where I normally wouldn't use that in a mock. But here, the contrast to the detail, I think, turned out pretty well. Now, while this build was built for the ABS Builders Challenge, which is a challenge that uses a seed part and to incorporate in all your builds, I chose not to use it as a significant part of the build. I kind of chose to build a mock, a creation on its own, and then have it in the build as if it wasn't for a contest. Because I think often when you're building for a contest, I don't know, it kind of restricts what you can build. It restricts the quality of your normal rhythm of building. I chose to face the contest with an attitude of, if I'm going to build for this contest, I'm going to build to the best of my ability. I'm not going to go half effort on this. So while that piece is incorporated in the build, I think the build stands on its own. I could have built this outside of the contest, used the same piece, and it would have been fine. Some of the other details included in this build was this supercomputer here. Now, this supercomputer desk was made at the very end of the build, just to kind of complete the right side of the frame. It's using a lot of different sticker sheets that I've saved from sets. When I get sets, I don't use the stickers on the set. I save them just in case I want to use them. And in this mock, I used a lot of the transparent pieces, maybe from the Avengers Tower set and a few other random sets to create the display, using some of the lever bases to attach the windows to the desk. And then you can see on the back how I attached all the side panels to the desk as well. Another final detail was this Chem Lab. It's barely visible on the edge of the final photo, but I thought it'd be cool to throw in there. It's just a 2x6 plate with a bunch of jumpers on it, and then a bunch of different clear pieces with transparent, using some of the beakers, and then one of those clear blue bars on the back, one of the lightsaber blades. Now on this build, I went through several different pillar designs, trying to get the best one for it. As you can see, I ended up using this long flex pipe hooked into some jumpers at the bottom, and then connected with droid arms all the way to the top, filling the gap in between some tiles I used. I ended up going with this one because I think it looks a lot like a futuristic rebar type setup that's really reinforced thick pillars. That's just a lot of brick in there to fill it up. I could have just done some solid brick pillars, but that's not the detail I wanted to go for. And I think it paired really well with the rest of the mock. One of the first ones I had prototyped was this type of pillar using the new train track, and I liked it, but I thought it was a little bit cheating because it's just like 4 new parts all hooked together. It's creative, but it's just not how I wanted to go. Plus, I kind of ran out since I only had 4. I didn't have enough to do 2 pillars. And that's another thing I want to stress, is that sometimes limitation can cause innovation. Like when you don't have enough of a certain piece, you can innovate, and maybe that means that you don't go the way you originally planned and you create something new or something different. You don't always have to have all the pieces you need to create something neat. Even if you don't have a giant collection, you can still create awesome stuff. Just scale it down a little bit. You don't need to be defined by the lack of pieces. Be defined by your creativity and how you use the pieces that you have. Well, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look at my latest creation. Be sure to check me out on Flickr at ForlornEmpire for more builds like this in the future.